I have been thinking of starting with the gouaches from a very long time. So this year I had made some plans of, just following what comes to my mind and exploring other mediums. I have been exploring other mediums, but this time my mind is set on gouache. So this is not the first time I'm going to try out gouaches, but yeah, I have decided to delve deeper into it. So whenever I set my journey with a new medium, I designate a space, a separate space in my small art studio, so that whenever I feel like drawing or painting, I just can go back to the things very quickly, because I don't like setting and organizing every time. So I'm not that kind of person. I prefer to keep the things arranged, and then whenever the inspiration strike, I can just quickly go and start painting. So this is not the first time I am going to try out gouache. I have taken some James Kearney classes, and I have taken more the tutorials from YouTube, and I have tried out my hands around it. I know it goes from darker to lighter, and I have made some landscapes, but this time I really feel like I should be making a series of landscapes and try out gouache more. I am also very inspired with the Studio Ghibli style of gouache works that I have seen out there, and I am really feeling like going deeper, exploring the color mixes, see how it goes around, and maybe develop my style of gouache. So I have been painting in watercolors from a very long time, like literally maybe 6 to 7 years. But now the most fanciest thing about gouache, and the thing that pulls me into gouache, is its ability to go from dark to light. Even though I put a very dark blob of paint, I can easily cover it up using whiter, the lighter shades. It really attracts me a lot, because coming from watercolors, this was never possible, and your entire designing of watercolor paintings is based upon that you can't go over a darker shade, from light to dark. So this is one thing that have pulled me into it. And the other thing is, I don't know, somehow or other, gouache feels like that it makes me feel that I can paint anything, which was not possible with watercolors. So I have lots of ideas into my mind, painting surreal landscapes and playing with lights, the yellow sunlight and everything. So lots of ideas are coming into my mind already. But today's video is going to be about setting up my things. So I have already washed this palette. So I had used it once, so I decided to wash it. I have no idea if this is going to work out. This palette is enough, but this is how I start, and I think this novel experience is something that we all remember once we go deeper into our painting and painting habits, and we have become an advanced or experienced artist. These are the times we come back to and think of like our starting point. And this is the reason I wanted to make this video to basically take you along my journey of exploring gouache. I don't know how far I'm going to go into it, but let's make the most out of what we have. And yeah, so this is the palette I thought of using. This has big ovals. Initially I was thinking of putting it into half or full pans, but then I thought the brushes would not glide smoothly. So at one point I had already purchased these paints. Only few of the paints have been used in my explorations. So these are the two options I have. I am not in the mood at all to buy more shades, and these are just 5 mls. So I think I will just keep it aside for now, and so I'll just use Winsor Newtons. This has plenty of shades. By the way, I'm with one hand I am holding my mic, so you can only see one of my hands at a time. So I am going to pour these paints. I think we need one more, you know, cobalt teal kind of color, but I'll see how we go. Other than that, it has all the varieties. I might use white watercolors, Camlin white watercolors, because it has a very good body to it. I'll see what happens, but I'll pour these paints today and keep them aside, but I'll not, you know, fully dump them down. I'll take only a small quantity right now, so that I know what if, like, as I move forward, what if I prefer to paint directly from the tubes. So I am just in the exploratory phase. I'm just exploring everything around. So this is what I have come with. I know even with the exploration phase, I am too ahead in my supplies. So for the brushes, I already have lots of brushes, and these all are synthetic. So I have got some flats, some bigger flats, some angled, and some rounds with good tip, and this is a very tiny flat. So I have seen people using flats a lot. So these are my flats. I love painting with with rigger brushes. So this is that. Some very good round brushes. I don't think this is a synthetic hairbrush, and this is a very nice pointy brush from Princeton. They all are mixed brands. This is Faber-Castell or this is Camlin. Camlin is a brand found in India, and it has very good artistic range. So some people love it, some people don't, but I am somebody who have started painting from Camlin, and I think they are quite good. So this is all I have. I have no idea if these would work or I would need more down the line. So I also washed this cup to keep my things separate from the watercolors. I might pick up brushes from watercolors. I have tons of them, but I'll try to stick with these, because I'm also not sure if I can ruin my brushes with gouache. As I have seen, they can be easily washed off, so let's see. And the pencil I love, this is 0.7 mm pencil. This is mechanical pencil from Tombow. I'm not sure if it is pronounced like this, Tombow or what. And an eraser. More than that, yeah. So I was seeing if I would stitch another journal just for the gouache. Like, I recently have stitched this one for watercolors. This is Brustro sketching paper, and you know, the watercolors on this paper, it's not sponsored, but I have been using it from my beginner days. The watercolor comes out very bright, and it can take a few layers, and I just love this paper. So I stitched this on my own. I usually do that. And it looks a bit raw, but this is what I like. So I was thinking of using this journal, but I think I want to dedicate that journal to only watercolors, but I don't know how I will go forward. So this is one of the journals I got for sketching, and basically to try out the paper. This, honestly, I don't know what brand is this. I threw the paper it came with, so I'm not sure, but I can search for it and maybe I'll add it in the details. I am also not sure, as a beginner would, that if these papers would be good for gouache, but I think it will work. So these are the watercolor works I tried, and I experienced that this paper would soak up and give more patchy appearance to my watercolors, but I still tried and played with it, and I think I love this format. And if this doesn't suit me, I'll quickly move on to the next journal, maybe this one that I have stitched on, or maybe I'll stitch another one. So this is all I have. I showed you the colors, I showed you the paper that I'll be using. This is the palette and the brushes. So this is all. If I need anything more, do let me know, because at this moment I don't know. I literally don't know. I have seen some videos, I have tried gouache. I'm not sure of the mixing surface. I like to just mix my paint on a very clean area so that I can see the tones and I can see them clearly. I have seen the people who have been using gouaches in the plastic palette. They do stain and they do stick to it. I'm not sure, but I need some clarity on this. So if you can help me out, if you have any idea, do let me know in the comments. I also have a glossy surface mixing area, that mixing sheets that we use in acrylics and oils. I might use that again. Let's see how it goes. So now I'll fill this palette. I'm not going to put a lot of paint. I'll fill this palette as what seems fine to me. Let's move forward. So this is what I have swatched. As I'm coming from a watercolor background, I like to make my swatch watery and let them merge into each other. I want to get a feel of the property of the paint, how they come out on the paper, if they have any granulation, how they look when they naturally merge when mixed on a paper. So again, I'm coming from a watercolor background, and this is how my brain works. It's going to be a learning curve. I don't know if it's it's the way you should go, but I'll find my way, as I have done in watercolors. So this is very interesting. I find that both the yellows have quite different hues. I'll see if I can get this yellow by mixing any of these red pinks with the primary yellow. I don't even remember the names of them. Is it a primary yellow? It looks like Hansa Yellow Medium in watercolors, PY97. I think I am correct. I think the green has to be a bit desaturated in order to be used in normal landscapes. I find yellow ochre quite appealing. Ultramarine blue is also good. If I talk about the other blue, let me check the name first. Yeah, so it's primary blue and the pigment is PB15. So it's phthalo blue. It's very, very good. I can see I can mix it with white and get more subtle hues for sky, and maybe a slight dab of any of the reds would give me more variations. So in the coming days, I'll keep experimenting and mixing the paint. Over here, I have not made any mixes other than what happened on the paper. So I love it. I really feel there is a need of a brown burnt sienna. At this moment only I'm feeling that how would I go ahead if I don't have a burnt sienna. If I keep mixing it again and again, it might hinder me when I paint something very tricky. Or other than that, I don't know if I need any other shade. Maybe I'll pick up burnt sienna from the Holbein paints that I have. So yeah, that's how I explore and move into a new medium that I have picked up. Over the years, I definitely go around and explore with different mediums. So this time it's gouache, but watercolors are always here to stay. They have, they have won my heart. So I'll move on. So guys, this is what I did after switching off my camera. I practiced lots of mixes. I wanted to see how these colors looks on the paper and how the mixes would turn out. The Winsor Newton gouache are quite smooth and it's easier to see the colors on this palette. Also, I have washed this palette once more after producing a painting, so it was all messy at a certain point. So just beyond this, I have a painting that I did, but before uncovering it, I wanted to talk about the color mixes. I practiced some color mixes, so if I know what colors my palette can produce, I can easily see it in the reference image and my process becomes smoother. Getting to know your color is very important. I did it in watercolors. I used to play with my paints all the time so that I knew what effect they would create and what mixes I could get out of them. So after doing all of it, I did some more mixing and practices, and yeah, and here is the painting that I came up with. This looks so good. I'll share a reference image and you can compare with it. And so there were many areas where I felt that I was getting stuck, especially in the mountain area. I made sure to create some warmth over here near the horizon. The colors are not accurate, like over here it's not that accurate, but in the water body it's still a bit accurate and similar looking. So I am quite satisfied of how it came out. Talking about working from darker to lighter, I'm not sure if I'm getting a hang of it right now, but I'll keep working on it. But I could do this because I already have a lot of experience in painting landscapes in watercolors. This looked pretty good in my knowledge, in my eyes, but do let me know if it's good or not. Like, I don't know what are expectations in gouache, and many people just can see and tell that maybe the technique used is wrong, or whatever. I'm not sure. So do help me out. I'll share more of my paintings. I'll try to share more of my process too. So thank you for staying here, watching the video, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.